And we're back with the Passing Show on Harrowings Live with Hal Gill, your host. It's, I'm actually not tracking what day it is, but it's the holidays, so that's okay. I think it might be the 28th. I'm going to say the 29th. It's the 29th of December, 2025. And we got Carol Steve again. Welcome. Good to have you with us. We have, as you see in the distance, number of little homes along here in Alexandria, Virginia. I never really noticed them before. Small houses, also chock a block against each other, and then caliber collision. I've had work done there before, once before. Well, I had, see what street is this? Montrose Avenue? Yeah, probably. International House of Pancakes, Chipotle, Potomac Yards Mall. There's a book called A Whole New Mind, thanks, by Daniel Pink from way back in the early 2000 noughts. And in it, he cites the Target and the design quality of products and Target here in Potomac Yards and the accessibility of high quality design, full of Stark stuff. In fact, he was talking about in that book, I recall little fragments from my memory. We got Ashley Schmitz back. Hey, good morning. Good to have you back with us. The Passing Show is bringing you just a little bit of who, what, when, and where. I just dropped my car off down there, Just Tires, to get its oil changed. Maintenance light came on yesterday in our 2005 Toyota Camry. First car and only car, I think, that my wife bought new before I met her. I guess it was about the time her father died. He had left her a little money, and so she used it to buy a car. And it's been very serviceable these past 20 years. I'm pretty thrifty that way. My wife doesn't think in terms of trying to keep up with the Joneses. And I kind of like that. I don't like how basic we can be. I'm heading over to the Starbucks in Potomac Yards to kill time with her until such time as some of the stores open. I've got only about, it looks like just about 20 minutes plus before the Barnes & Noble opens its doors. I'll be able to peruse what's being published. Remember, everything that's published is published with a profit motive in mind. It's priced to sell, and the idea is to bring in more revenue for the authors. Here in Substack land, we are subscribing to each other. The best of our ability. I'll just say here, it's really cold here in Texas. Our weather is relatively warm. It's up and down a lot, but right now we're in the 50s. Probably coming on up into higher 50s. Maybe we're in the 40s. I'm not sure. We've got gray skies, as you can see. National Airport's just behind the Virginia Tech building. That's where a theater was for a while. Now Virginia Tech has part of its campus here. They just constructed that in recent years. They tore down the movie theater after the pandemic. Just couldn't support it, I guess. People weren't going out to the movies much and sitting with each other. And everything is streamable now, practically, so you can watch things in your home. It's a different world. Things are evolving. And that's put a line of a tune in the back of my head. It isn't quite forming. There's another jet going up out of National Airport. What I find interesting to do, and I'm going to go off camera a second to do it, near 45 here. Well, that's not too bad. Lee Penman, you joined. Hey, how you doing? Good to have you. Hi, Charlotte. Good to have you. The Passing Show is just a little raw journalism, a little who, what, when, and where, wherever I happen to be, watching the patterns of human activity, watching the automatic way in which we tend to operate, thinking about how we need to be more awake and aware of the impact of every choice we make. If a lot of us choose to operate our own vehicles, for instance, as opposed to using the metro, The metro runs right behind her. There's a new metro station here at Potomac Yards. I had to bring my automobile over that I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it with. Um, and that's the way it goes. Life's about to change, down and down. Other human beings out and about. Another jet going up on a national. I think about the passengers on the passing jets and the passing show, and I consider their vantage point on me crossing the road here. Somebody might be looking out the window and project my own consciousness to how that must look from their vantage point. Have a little bit of knowledge of that, having flown out of National a few times. I don't know, man. I'm curious and watching, always looking, always gathering information, always wondering what impacts we make. Because as long as we're mobile, we're able to make impacts on the world. When we pass on, there's some cleanup to be done. And then, one thing leads to another. But thinking about those connections, thinking about the interrelationships that we have, I was really happy to be personally connected to Tiffany Shlain, who wrote a kind of memoir film called Connected. She was behind the Webby Awards way back. And she did a thing called 24/6 about taking a technology Sabbath, turning off the connections for a day to be with people, very present where our feet are. I have to be very conscious of where my feet are because otherwise I might miss my step. Being conscious of our steps. Going to have a guest tomorrow that I'm really kind of excited about talking to. And I'm going to not talk to anybody today, I think, because of this. I'm sort of prepping myself mentally for getting a fellow named Keith God. I don't know exactly how to pronounce his name. There's an E on the end of his name there, Ignatius Garda. But he's out in Washington State. He was a manager or co-manager of Aerosmith during their comeback phase in the late 80s, early 90s, period of Pump. And forget what the other album that he was particularly involved in. But in any case, he also was the executive producer, one of the people who backed Cracked Up, the movie. CrackedUpMovie.com is the site for that movie, is a documentary on trauma-informed care through the lens of the life of Daryl Hammond of Saturday Night Live. And it was done by my friend Michelle Ezrick, who is going to be coming on at some point in the new year as well. But she just said, "You're going to interview Keith." And I said, "Okay, let's do it." And Keith said, "Okay." So tomorrow, 3 o'clock Eastern, 12 Pacific time, he'll be on on Harrowing's podcast. I've made it to the Starbucks. Lynn's in here having a coffee, I think, killing time. So I'm going to join her and I'm going to turn you guys off and send you on your way. But thanks for joining on the passing show. Yeah, it's in the 45 here. Lee Penman rejoined. Hi there, Lee. I stand in contact with Lori Stade. She's such a wonderful person. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you and your family. Thank you, Ashley Schmidt. That was very kind. As I swing around, you can see the Toyota Alexandria. Well, I might go in one of these days, maybe get a new car. I don't know. Probably a used car would be a better idea. After TJ Maxx over there, that's going to be Lynn's stopping point at 9:30. Amazon Fresh, you can see. My neighbor, Jeff Bezos, has made a lot on Amazon. He's just lives over the hill from me in S Street Northwest in Washington, D.C. Hasn't invited me over yet, though, to his double mansion. Lynn is waving. And so I'm going to wrap it here. Thank you all very much, and be the change you want to see in the world. Remember, every cent spent is a vote for the kind of world we are co-creating. I'm going to contribute to this industry a little bit, for better or for worse.